Very quickly now, looking at the agri side, it's been touched on a little bit, but I just want to go a little bit deeper. From January, obviously, we saw the breakout of violence with the herdsmen across the north central, even into the northeast and the northwest as well. If you're looking at that particular sector, and you know that really the violence really upticked from January up until, I think, the last month or the month before it began to really slow down. In your view, of some of the interventions that have gone on and the slowdown of herdsmen violence, do you think there will be a tick up in the agri sector because of the reduction in violence?
Yeah, there will. First things first, we have to deal with fear. So then we have to actually talk to those, make those who've already taken out of, who ran out of their farmlands to get back to the farmlands. So there has to be some level of interaction between government and the farming community, talking to them within that corridor to go back to the farms. And then, they also need to also see that protection coming from the government so that they will be able to, go back to farm. But I see that things will definitely change because, they want to go back to the farms. All they're just looking for is they need that assurance from the government that if I go back to my farms, I won't be killed or nothing happens to me. All I want is be able to do what I know how to do best and then and a living from it.
Do you see the reason why the federal government is excited, though? The minister released a statement and he talked about how the ERGP is working, especially, we see positive signs of that in the non-oil sector, and it's something that they seem pretty excited about. Is there a reason for us to really be excited as a people?
Yeah, we should be because, for the first time, really, we are looking outside the oil sector. Because if, let's say, for example, we had the agri sector, we had a boom in the agri sector, if the contraction that happened in the oil sector wouldn't have affected the economy the way it affected the economy. So if we continue to grow the way we are growing, on the non-oil sector, you will see anything that happens to the oil sector won't even affect the economy as much. So it will still be, something happened, there was a contraction, and that's it. And then,
so on the whole, in spite of the fact that there was a contraction,
yeah,
we shouldn't despair. It looks like we're really on the right path, are we?
Yeah, it is. And also, what some of these figures will do to any the people managing the economy is for them to look at how to strategically, build further on what they are currently doing. Because, if you look at the ERGP, it was clearly spelled out that what the focus will be is to go off from oil sector to the non-oil sector. So, I understand when the minister is excited, I understand why he's excited. But, it's just that, like I said, you need to do more. Like I will humorously tell my friends that we need to add an R in front of the ERGP. Don't ask me what the R means.
Well, we have to thank you most kindly. I'm still going to ask you behind the scenes, but thank you so much for coming on Sunrise Daily. Ogbonna Ukuku is an investment consultant. The program continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. It's also our concluding moment at this stage, but I'm just wondering, even if we put all those investments into those other sectors, education is key, because at the end of the day, we'll require the manpower with the kind of population we have and the projections that they're talking about in the years to come. But if the education sector is contributing less than 5% to the GDP, that should be of concern to us all, shouldn't it?
I agree. As much as we push a private sector-driven economy, it is important to know that that private sector will essentially has to be driven by competent human capital. So once our people are undereducated, once the kind of investment required in healthcare is not there, then unfortunately we will not turn out the right caliber and quality of personnel. So private sector entities will then have to struggle to find the right kind of people. So it means that we must take a step back, increase our revenue base. And I think a quick win for government today is this. Look, oil prices are high. The consensus estimate is that it will remain like this for the next 12 to 18 months. So my view is let us very, very quickly ramp up production. One way to ensure new investments will come for that increased production is that the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill that has already been passed by the National Assembly, I think it is sitting somewhere awaiting presidential assent. I think that needs to be done. That will immediately send a signal to the IOCs and even the local players that let us ramp up production. With oil prices going up, with production going up to 2.3, we can raise those additional funds that need to go into the social infrastructure space of education and healthcare.
So, for the man out there, what does this particular report mean? What kind of impact can it have on them?
For the man out there, absolutely nothing.
Whoa.
That man out there, a woman out there, are almost totally disconnected from the formal economy. So it is our job as stakeholders, as government, as entrepreneurs, as employees within this economy to do our level best to bring those who are excluded, the majority of Nigerians who are below the poverty line, who really do not feel the impact of government at federal, state, or local government level. A lot has to be done to improve the welfare of those people, because without that, there cannot be security, there cannot be investment, there cannot be economic growth.
That's a good place to leave it. Mr. Bayorotimi is a financial consultant. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
And that's the show today. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Well, thank you for your comments and contributions as well. I'm Maokpe Ogun Yusuf.
Have a great day, everybody. I am Ajuri Ngilale.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.